Hello Workforce Board members and attendees. I'm Drew Cassidy, Board Staff and the Workforce Service Integration Manager. I'm here today to shed light on our proposal regarding the extension of 3 WorkSource Information Notices, commonly referred to as WINs. These notices play an important role in offering state guidance on topics related to the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, also known as WIOA, and its associated one-stop programs. Before I begin, I'd also like to draw your attention to another pre-meeting video featuring Gary Kamamura from the Employment Security Department. Gary will be delving deeper into the specifics of the state's rationale for the proposed extension of WIN 0109. As we navigate the post-pandemic landscape, it's important to reflect on the measures we implemented as a workforce system and assess their continued relevance. Today, the board is being asked to deliberate on the potential extension of these 3 specific WINs. These notices were not just reactive measures. They were strategic initiatives aimed at enhancing the workforce system's local response and ability to react to the dynamic needs of our customers during a critical time for the system. In April of 2020, as the pandemic began to impact workforce system operations and the communities we serve, the board took action at the request of the Washington Workforce Association by introducing these policy flexibilities. This move was essential to ensure the workforce community could continue to serve effectively during uncertain times. The effectiveness of these WINs is evident in the 8 extensions they've received since their introduction. The most recent extension took place in February of this year and extends their validity until December 31st, 2023. These extensions underscore the system's commitment to adapt to the evolving landscape of the pandemic and its subsequent recovery phases. Both local areas and state partners have expressed a desire to make these flexibilities a more permanent feature in WorkSource system and WIOA Title I policies, particularly emphasizing their role in ensuring equitable service delivery and aligning with recently released and anticipated federal guidance. Partners have noted the benefits of these flexibilities, especially in addressing the shifting needs of customers and adapting to changing technological trends and fluctuating labor market conditions. Let's begin with a brief summary of the 3 WINs in question. Each of these notices was crafted to address specific challenges. WIN 0107 pertains to the temporary suspension of the required use of CASAs for basic skills assessments and allows for alternative assessment and documentation methods for the determination of basic skills deficiency in WIOA Title I-B programs. WIN 0108 suspends the 30% limit on formula fund transfers between WIOA Title I-B adult and dislocated worker programs, allowing for enhanced flexibility. WIN 0109 addresses the need for verbal self-attestation and remote eligibility documentation. Staff request the extension of these 3 WINs to provide time to consider and implement permanent policy changes and align these policies with new and forthcoming federal rules and guidance. All right, let's delve into WIN 0107. Let us journey back to 2010 when the board made the decision to standardize the basic skills assessment process. CASAS was chosen as the exclusive test to be administered across all workforce system programs. This decision was rooted in the belief that a standardized approach would ensure consistency and connection between Title I adult dislocated worker and youth programs and Title II adult basic education programs. However, the pandemic brought forth unforeseen challenges. With the CASAS test primarily being an in-person and proctored assessment, local areas voiced concerns about its accessibility. In response, the board temporarily suspended Policy 1011, allowing Title I-B programs to utilize alternative methods such as informal assessments or school records to determine basic skills deficiency for the purpose of eligibility and enrollment. Despite the introduction of an online version of CASAS since the pandemic, concerns around its exclusive use have persisted, especially considering its lengthy and formal nature, long wait times for access in certain areas, and the barrier it creates for customers and to enroll into Title I programs. To address these concerns and chart a way forward, board staff convened a comprehensive meeting with stakeholders from all of our WIOA core programs, including representatives from SBCTC, ESD, DSHS, DVR, and the local areas. The discussions were enlightening, revealing a shared desire for a more inclusive and holistic approach to assessments for the limited purpose of Title I-B enrollment and eligibility. Key takeaways from this meeting included the preference for CASAs only when a formal standardized test is deemed necessary given its endorsement by our Title II partners, a distinction between the objectives of Title I-B and Title II, with the former focusing on assessing basic career skills at the point of enrollment. The recognition of multiple potential assessment methods under WIOA, including staff observations and self-attestations. A pressing concern about the equity of requiring CASAs, especially for individuals with disabilities or those who are not seeking formal classroom instruction. And the realization that many individuals don't transition to Title II services, making the CASAs an unnecessary requirement and hurdle for them. Concluding this assessment, it's worth noting that there was a unanimous agreement among partners to extend WIN 0107 until December 31st, 2024. This extension is seen as a window of opportunity to review and potentially integrate changes that are currently being considered at the federal level through an information request by the Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education. This provides a chance to align with potential federal updates, ensuring our strategies resonate with the national standards and best practices. All right, now let's explore WIN 0108, focusing on the flexibility in transferring WIOA formula funds between adult and dislocated worker programs. In a 2015 meeting, the board set a 30% cap on fund transferability, echoing the guidelines of the preceding Workforce Investment Act of 1998. However, WIOA Section 133b4 grants local workforce development boards the option to transfer up to 100% of formula funds between the adult and dislocated worker Title I-B programs. However, this isn't a carte blanche. Approval from either the governor or the Employment Security Department is mandatory. Moreover, Policy 5401 and WIN 0108 necessitate a thorough program impact analysis for any transfer request. This ensures no negative repercussions on the originating program's services. For those seeking a deeper dive into the nuances of the process, WIOA Title I Policy 5401 provides an in-depth look. The pandemic's challenges prompted the board to endorse 100% full fund transfer flexibility as outlined in WIN 0108. And over the past 3 years, since program year 2019, the Employment Security Department's Grants Management Office has received and approved 6 different transfer requests from 4 LWDBs. 2 of those were above 30% for a single fund source. The other 4 were at or below 30% despite the greater flexibility allowed under WIN 0108. This trend, coupled with local feedback expressing a continued desire for the maximum flexibility allowed under WIOA, underscores the ongoing need. The rationale is twofold. It empowers Title I-B programs to swiftly address labor market shifts, and it allows for Title I-B programs to either leverage the more accessible eligibility process of the adult program, or provides a safety net enabling fund transfers from the adult to dislocated worker program in scenarios marked by significant job loss or large-scale layoffs. In conclusion, our experiences and the feedback from various stakeholders prompted us to put forth a request for your consideration of a more permanent change to WIOA Title I Policy 5401, or a proposal to extend WIN 0108 until June 30th, 2024, giving state staff ample time for research, discussions, and stakeholder engagement on this crucial matter. As a reminder, for additional information on WIN 0109, please refer to the pre-meeting video prepared by ESD's Workforce Policy Manager, Gary Kamamura. It's time to reflect on the proposed extensions of these WorkSource Information Notices. First up, we have WIN 0107, with staff's proposed extension to December 31st, 2024. This extension would limit barriers to enrollment for Title I-B programs and provide time for the integration of any new federal guidance from OCTAE. Next, we have WIN 0108. This proposed extension is until June 30th, 2024. The timeline is strategic. It allows us to gather more information, engage in meaningful discussions, and involve stakeholders in the decision-making process. Alternatively, if you decide to increase fund transferability, this timeline provides us with the window to make necessary revisions to Policy 5401. Lastly, for WIN 0109, the recommendation is to extend it until June 30th, 2024. It will enable us to confirm certain flexibilities with the U.S. Department of Labor based on their recent COVID-19 FAQ guidance and engage in state and local discussions to update the specific WorkSource system policies and monitoring checklists. Myself, as well as Julie Baxter, a representative from the Grants Management Office at the Employment Security Department, and Gary Kamamura will be present and available for questions on October 4th. Thank you and have a great day.